Okay guys, so we got another micro FPV camera here from Caddx, and it looks pretty much exactly like the other ones that I reviewed, the S1 and the F1. This one's called the Turbo Micro SDR1, and it's got the same form factor, 19 by 19 millimeters, similar to the Microswift form factor. It weighs 5 grams, it's got a 2.1 millimeter lens, 1200 TV lines, and has a CMOS sensor. So pretty much similar specs to the Turbo Micro F1 that I reviewed about a few days ago, I think. And this one here, the difference between the F1 and this one, obviously this one's also CMOS and 1200 TV lines, is this one is advertised as having super wide dynamic range and also having a lux rating of 0.0001. So it could be used as a night camera or something like an owl or a night wolf. So I'm going to be testing that out as well, see how good the nighttime performance is on this camera, as well as the daytime performance, because this being advertised with super wide dynamic range, we're talking about a camera similar to like the Eagle or the Monster or the Predator, but we have here a camera in a micro form factor here. So I'm going to see how good the image is in terms of picture quality and also the wide dynamic range, and see if this wide dynamic range really lives up to what they're advertising compared to, say, an Eagle or a Predator, which is what I'm kind of like expecting from this camera. But of course, you never know. Well, I haven't actually plugged this in yet, but we'll take a look at it and we'll find out. So a couple other specs I should note before I get into the menu and show you the features. This is NTSC and PAL switchable, and it's 16:9 and 4:3 switchable as well, so the aspect ratio is switchable as well. So that's similar to the Eagle 2 Pro. I believe that the Eagle 2 Pro has all of those features as well. So at this point we'll go ahead and plug it in, and we'll take a look at the menu and see what other features are available to us in the menu. Okay, so I got the camera plugged in, and we'll take a look at the menu here. We got automatic exposure. And these are the settings, these are the default settings. I haven't changed anything on here, so I'm going to actually run everything totally default here. Just want to show you the menus. These are completely different from what's on the F1. They seem to have more options here. You have day night mode, you have color, you have black and white, EXT, and auto. So I'm going to leave it on color, and I think that for nighttime I'll switch it over to black and white. And on image enhanced, well, that's interesting. Everything, contrast, sharpness, color gain, all automatic, and then digital noise reduction set to manual. Interesting. Here are the video settings. We have NTSC, you can switch that to PAL, and then you have the aspect ratio, you can also switch that to 16:9, and then you have wide dynamic range. And it looks like you have open and close, so obviously we probably will leave that as default. That's all the settings here. Go ahead and exit. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the field of view, and this is what I normally point off to the side of the room there, and you can see here on the right the bookcase, and then over on the left, the upper left hand corner, the red boxes. This is pretty similar to the field of view on the RunCam Microswift. Okay, just a couple sample scenes here from the camera. This is a cloudy day, and usually the CMOS cameras have a hard time handling these type of lighting conditions, and usually the ground turns very dark when you point to the sky. And it seems like the ground's pretty well exposed, and the sky is pretty well exposed, so it looks like the wide dynamic range is working fairly well here. But you guys can comment below as to your opinion on the light handling of this camera. It looks fairly decent to me, and I do like the micro size, of course. Okay, so this scene is about 10 minutes after sunset, so still a little bit of light in the sky, but it's fairly dark in the scene. Okay, so we have a night scene here about 3 or 4 hours after sunset, and all we have is ambient light from the street lamps and a little bit from the houses. Still staying in color, even though it's I think it will go into black and white when it gets in certain situations, but you can see the video is quite a bit grainier because of the very little light that's available. And finally, here is some flight footage from a sunny day so you guys can see what the light handling is like on a very bright sunny day.